Verse 19. Yeah, Psalms
Yes.
94, verse 19.
In the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul.
Thy comforts delight my soul. The word for comfort is tan humot. It means your consolation. To console. You know what console means? When I'm hurting, I'm soothing you. I'm soothing you because you're hurt. He said that's what God does to him. All right? It delights my soul. It gives me pleasure. Tamshi, verse, was it 20 now?
20.
Go ahead.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
He said, shall the throne of iniquity, right? Right? In the Hebrew, it don't say iniquity, right? In the Hebrew, it states, shall the throne desire, and have fellowship with thee. Read.
Which frame it mischief by a law.
Which frame it mischief by a law. You know what frame means? To form or to create. To form or to create. We done formed and created problems in our head with no proof, and we believe it. We believe this foolishness that conjured up in your mind. Go ahead, read.
Which frame it mischief by law.
Okay, cut that, chop that, and let's go into the Apocrypha quick fast. Go into the Apocrypha for a couple verses and come down and call up the next speaker. Let's go to the Apocrypha in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. Got it? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1.
Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth.
Love who?
Ye that be judges of the earth.
Love what?
Love righteousness.
Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. So I ain't got no time to be loving nothing over God.
That's right.
I can't put nothing over God, which means the righteousness of God comes before anything. Every and anything. Nothing comes before God.
First,
Even, guess what? Even yourself, even you can't put before God. This is why your kids neither. This is why when we're dealing with situations, you got to think before you move. Because when you move without thinking, you violate the laws of God. You put yourself in a predicament, in a situation to violate the laws of God, man. Tamshi, he said, ye that be judges of the earth. Tamshi.
Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him.
Think of the Lord with a good heart. When you think of God in a good heart, you know what takes place? You're not going to question. You're not going to reject. You're not going to come up with a reason. And you're not going to come up with whys and rebuttals and this, because you're thinking of God with a good heart. And what? And in simplicity of heart, seek him. You know what simplicity of heart is? Come to God like an empty vessel. An empty vessel. Clear your mind. Take out that chip. You see the computer? All the information that is stored on the computer is on the chip.
All that program.
So now when you have to reprogram, you got to take out that chip and put a new chip in. You got to leave off from all the things that you was taught from your past so that you would be able to accept God. Tamshi.
For he will be found of them that tempt him not.
He will be found in them that tempt him not. Okay. And how do you tempt God? How do you tempt the Most High? By going against his laws, by sinning presumptuously. So when we sin presumptuously, we tempt God. You tempt him. Go ahead, read.
And showing himself unto such as do not distrust him. For forward thoughts separate from God.
Forward thoughts separate from God. What are forward thoughts? Forward thoughts are thoughts that is contrary and opposite to the thoughts of God, to the mind of God. Forward thoughts are thoughts that is opposite from his laws, commandments, and statutes. And you can't serve God with that type of mind frame. There's no way you can serve God with that mind frame. And his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. Tamshi.
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
A malicious soul. What is a malicious soul? A malicious person, right? A malicious person or malicious people has what you call a mischievous impulse. Right? They usually have the emotional maturity of a child. Right? Doing and saying things to annoy and embarrass people. Those are malicious people. When you do things to annoy and embarrass people, you are malicious, and you can't serve God. You can't serve God that way. Tamshi.
Nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Wisdom cannot dwell in the body that's subject to sin, which means if I sin and I transgress before God, wisdom is not going to come to me to lead me towards that right path. It's not going to come to me and lead me towards that right path because I'm living my life of iniquities. I'm living my life of sin. So that good thought, that righteous thought, that righteous mind ain't going to come here. Tamshi.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit.
That's right.
And remove from thoughts that are without understanding.
Will
not abide.
Go ahead.
And will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. For wisdom is a loving spirit.
Wisdom is a loving spirit. Yes, it is. Loving spirit, read.
And will not acquit a blasphemer of his words.
Blasphemer
of his words.
Will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. Now, acquit means to let off.
Let him go.
To let him go.
Drop the charges.
Drop the charges. Tamshi.
For God is witness of his reins, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue. For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that was containing all things had knowledge of the voice. He said the Spirit
of God fills the world. And that which containing all things had knowledge of the voice. Read.
Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid.
Therefore, he that speak unrighteous things. When you say things that's contrary from God, those are unrighteous and evil words. And these things have an effect on our spirit. We got to be careful with the things that we say and the things that we do because we hurt and we affect ourselves. We affect ourselves and it leaves a breach. It leaves an opening in our spirit for more evil to come. More evil to come. Try to read.
Neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass by them. For inquisition shall be made unto the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord, for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. For the ear of jealousy
heareth all things. That's the Most High. That's God.
And the noise of murmurings is
not here, Tamshi.
Therefore beware of murmuring.
Therefore beware of murmuring. What is murmuring? Complaining. Beware of complaining. Stop complaining. God, we angered God by complaining in the wilderness. That's all the people did was complain. For every situation, they never turned to God. They complained for water. They complained for food. None of them, even the thought did not come in their mind to prostrate in front of the tabernacle and ask for food, ask for water, ask God for what you want. You don't have to complain. And that's why God got angry with these people. Go ahead, read.
Therefore, beware of murmuring.
Beware of murmuring,
which is unprofitable.
unprofitable.
And refrain your tongue from backbiting.
Refrain your tongue from backbiting. Backbiting means is what? When you say mean or spiteful things about a person. Spiteful, when you say spiteful things, you say spiteful things to irritate or annoy a person. You say spiteful things to get under the person's skin. Go ahead, read.
For there is no word so secret thou shalt go for naught.
And
the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul.
And the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul. The word belieth, it means to give a false impression of. You ain't what you say you is. That's a false impression. Tom C.
Seek not death in the era of your life.
Exactly. Don't go wanting to kill yourself and jump off the roof because you messed up and you made an error. Just do better. Just correct it and do better. Tom C.
And pull not upon yourselves destruction.
Don't pull upon yourself destruction with the works of your own hand, because you're going to destroy your own self by the things that you do in life that's contrary to what? To contrary and opposite to God. Most people can't correct themselves. A lot of people don't correct themselves. A lot of people that I realize do things against God, do things against people, and justify their wrongdoings of why they did it, instead of correcting themselves to make themselves better. Go ahead, read.
For God made not death.
God didn't create death. God didn't make death. He created Adam and Eve to live. Gave them a command and told them don't eat from the tree that's in the midst of the garden. And the day you eat from it, you're going to die. So anything God create, he didn't create to live. If Adam and Eve didn't eat the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the leaves were not wither. There's not going to be there's never going to be a thing called fall.
No.
Where leaves fall and dry. That would never happen. Now
nothing gets old.
Nothing gets old. Everything dies now. Everything must die. Tom C.
For God made not death, neither hath he pleasure in the
God made not death, and he don't have pleasure in what?
In the destruction,
of the living. God don't have pleasure that we gotta go, that we gotta die, because God didn't create us to die. God created us to live, but we turned against the commandment of God by eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And then you want to blame Eve. Don't blame Eve. No. Don't blame Eve. Eve's good. Eve got beguiled and tricked by the serpent. She got tricked. People want to call Eve a liar. You better watch your mouth of how you talk about the people that we read about in this book. These people was used for examples, and was used for examples for us to follow. It was used for examples for us to follow. But we talk about these people. Eve's a liar. What do you mean Eve's a liar? Don't tell me Eve's a liar. I don't want to hear about Eve being a liar, because Eve ain't no cotton picking liar. What she said. And this is before she ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which means Eve don't know what lying is. She was innocent. And she told the serpent, God said, don't eat from it, neither shall you touch it. So if the woman said, God said, don't eat from it, neither did she touch it, then that's what it is. Well, and you got the scholar, well, she said God said, but God never said it. How do you know God ain't said it? The woman said, God said, leave it. We want to change the order of the book. You want to change everything in the book. Y'all out of your mind, man. And I can't talk with people with that mind frame. Go ahead, read.
Neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living.
Neither had he pleasure in the destruction of the living. Tom
For he
Sheep.
created all things
Uh-huh.
that they might have their being.
He created all things that they might have their being. You know what I mean by their being? Their purpose. Everything that God created had a purpose. The sun has a purpose. The sun was put here to serve us. But people turn around and pray to the sun that God put here to serve you. Everything had a purpose. Go ahead, read.
And the generations of the world were healthful,
That's right.
and there is no poison of destruction.
The
in them.
generation of the world was helpful. This was before evil has increased and they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. What verse you at?
I'm in verse 14.
Go ahead.
And there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. Verse 15. For righteousness is immortal.
You know what immortal is? Immortal means to live forever. Righteousness is immortal. It lives forever. Tom Sheep. But ungodly men
with their works
with their works and
words
words.
to them.
Ungodly men with their works and their words. You hear that? Ungodly men with their works and words, which means the things that we do in life and the words that we chose to say out of our mouth did what? We called
them to. We called it to them.
Okay. So the things that we do and the things that we say out of our mouth is what caused this to happen to you.
Death and destruction.
This, you can bring death to you by your doings and the things that you voice out of your mouth. Go ahead, read.
But when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it because they are worthy to take part with it.
And with that, I hope I already got what was bought.
So they made a covenant with that.
And I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to God.
And I'm going to call up the next speaker, teacher indeed, Chief Mika Ben Level.
And Jeremiah, they made a covenant with that.
Mm-hmm.
Giving all praises to the God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Giving all due respect to my father, my teacher, and the leader, Chief Eleazar Ben Dodo, of the tribe of Levi. Giving all due respect to Chief Men, Prince Men, mothers in Israel, visitors of Israel, the tongue of our forefathers. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to God.
At this moment, I will ask for everybody to rise so we can recite what the world knows as the Ten Commandments. Now repeat after me, please. And God spake all these words, saying,
And God spake all these words, saying,
I am the Lord thy God,
I am the Lord thy God,
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
out of the house of bondage.
out of the house of bondage.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image,
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image,
or any likeness
or any likeness
of anything
of anything
that is in heaven above,
that is in the heaven above,
or that is in the earth beneath,
or that is in the earth beneath,
or that is in the water under the earth.
or that is in the water under the earth.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
nor serve them.
nor serve them.
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God,
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God,
visiting the iniquity of the fathers
visiting the iniquity of the fathers
upon the children,
upon the children,
unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me,
unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me,
and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me,
showing mercy to thousands of them that love me,
and keep my commandments.
And
keep my commandments.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain,
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Remember the Sabbath day,
Remember the Sabbath day,
to keep it holy.
to keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor,
6 days shall thou labor,
and do all thy work.
And do all thy work.
But the seventh day
But the seventh day
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
Thou,
Thou,
nor thy son,
nor thy son,
nor thy daughter,
nor thy daughter,
thy manservant,
thy
nor
manservant,
thy maidservant,
nor thy maidservant,
nor thy cattle,
nor thy cattle,
nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
the sea,
the sea,
and all that in them is,
and all that in the midst,
and rested the seventh day.
and rested the seventh day.
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day,
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day,
and hallowed it.
and hallowed it.
Honor thy father and thy mother,
Honor thy father and thy mother,
that thy days may be long
that the days may be long
upon the land
upon the land
which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Thou shalt not murder.
Thou shalt not murder.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife,
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife,
nor his manservant,
nor his
nor
manservant,
his maidservant,
nor his
nor
maidservant,
his ox,
nor his
nor
ox,
his ass,
nor his
nor
ass,
anything that is thy neighbor's.
nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
You may be seated. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. When the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. They said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off. And Moses drew near to the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall you make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. But if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. Okay, we're going to move. We're going to go first stop is Isaiah chapter 57. It said, the righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart. And merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. He said, when you see people die, you got righteous people, you got right people, righteous people, you have wicked people. And now, today, righteous people live and die, no man layeth it to the heart. And consider it, okay? He said that merciful men are taken away, meaning people say, oh man, God takes away all the good people. You heard that before? But that's what it's saying here. It's saying most of the time, the righteous die. The merciful, they get taken away. But nobody considers that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. You understand that?
Yeah.
Good people, God take good people away. Good little babies. Oh, why you let the baby die? It's an innocent baby. That's why he took the baby. Some people are so good, God not going to let them suffer to live on this planet and learn wickedness. The king's Jeroboam had a son. It doesn't say it, but we know how God works. He said that child has a good heart. And for years, I wanted to know what kind of heart that child had. Later in reading, you will know, you will find out. In the Kings, I'm reading about King Asa. And God said, Asa, you kind of messed up a little. You didn't clear everything up. You still got this going on and this going on here. He said, but nevertheless, what you got in your heart is good. In that, you have proposed your mind. You made your mind up. You settled your mind to serve God. So that's what the good in a person's heart, that God will see. Oh, wow, this person is good enough to serve me. I'm going to let her run into this man. This guy is good enough to serve me. I'm going to let him run with this guy that he go to school with or he go to work with. And all of a sudden, he's running with him. Next thing you know, he's coming to teach us now. That's how you get here. That's how God does it. Okay? It said, considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. So that means when they dead, they not going to no evil. The righteous is going to wherever was the prophet Samuel was. Let's put it like that. We know one thing. Righteous people, when they die, they go somewhere and it's peaceful and quiet. There's no torments. Okay? And it ain't heaven either.
Okay.
It ain't heaven. It's the realm of the dead, and it's split into two parts. The righteous go here, the wicked go there. They call it the lot of the righteous. You see, the righteous lot, you know what the righteous lot is? Their portion. You know what their portion is? Their reward for being right. You don't get it here. The lot of the righteous is not here on this planet. You have to die. You have to live correctly and then die to get to that spot in the realm of the dead. Everybody goes under. All spirits go under. All spirits. But depending on the behavior with God on this planet, it's a split. It's a split. You say, oh, your classification is wickedness. You only got two classifications, wickedness and righteousness. You over there, you over there. So it says that nobody consider it today on this planet while you alive, that there's some evil that's going to come. And it's only for wicked people. So God said, look, man, this handful right here, I'm not letting them even go through that. We allowed to go through it. We're not as right as some people. Babies, it said the babies are born and they're stillborn dead. At least that child was born in its innocence, meaning it was born the way God created them. Didn't have a chance to add on no type of wickedness. He was only born with what was in him. So that's why he says he's innocent. He didn't never presumptuously violated. Those babies that died, they never presumptuously violated. They died. The sin that's in them come from man, parents, passed down. God don't persecute them because of that, because all men is born like that. It said he shall enter, Isaiah 57, verse 7. 57. It said he shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. So the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. So the righteous is not here no more. Right? The righteous, God said, he shall enter into peace. Okay? And they shall rest in their beds. So they got a place of resting down there for the righteous. That's why Samuel said, why is thou disquietest me? Why did you wake me up? Why did you disturb me? When you're sleeping and there's a loud clanging sound going on, that's disturbing. It woke you up. I said, man, you wake up, what you going to do? Find out where this noise coming from. Right or wrong? Mm-hmm. So that's why he said, I'm being disturbed, because where he's at, it's peaceful. It's peaceful. It's quiet. Verse 2. But this is only for the righteous. You see that saying that people have anytime somebody die, I don't care who it is, they say rest in peace. Really and all? The only ones that's going to rest in peace when they live here is the righteous, according to that. He shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, because he's not the only one that was righteous. Mm-hmm. So he said, now they is all of the righteous. They rest in their beds. They all got a slot. You got a reservation down there. They got beds down there. And when you go, your spirit get to rest. While you're here, your spirit don't rest. The righteous spirit get to rest when they die. Mm-hmm. It said, but the wicked, there's no peace for the wicked. Mm-hmm. So when the wicked die, where they don't get no rest where they're going. Okay? Verse 3.
But draw near hither, ye sons of the sorcerers, the seed of the adulterers and the whore, against whom do ye sport yourself?
He said,
Again-
he said, draw near hither, ye sons of the sorcerers. All the parents, their life will be reflected on their sons and daughters and their children. And you are responsible for bringing this child up the right way before God. But everybody don't know God. So they're bringing up their children in different ways. Oh, they're telling them that this is God, and it's not, whatever they believe. You understand?
Right.
He says, so now you got the sons of witches and warlocks, the seed of the adulterer. That's why it's good not to be promiscuous. Okay? Don't go around sleeping with women that are married. Look, if she got a man, leave her alone. If she's living with him, leave her alone. Leave him alone. They live together, leave them alone. Don't make excuses for you to be unhinged. You know what unhinged means, right? This door got hinges. If I take the hinges off, this door can't stand up no more. Okay? Don't be like that. Don't be loose, lustful. And then now, in your lustfulness, you wind up committing adultery because you have women that don't care about that. You have women that don't care about that. We just heard about wives that leave war from their husband. Man, well, I left him and he won't give me a divorce. You heard that before, right? Don't mess with her. Because she's going to leave you too. You messing with somebody that's already linked to somebody else. That's why the Lord said when you write a bill of divorcement and send her out your house, and she may be able to be another man's wife. Now, for whatever reason, he's not with her no more. He give her a bill of divorce. You can't go back because you had her already. And now it's different. It's not what you had before. It's not going to work. Okay? It's not going to work. This is why people be having counselors. I even hear in Israel, we got marriage counselors. We ain't supposed to have no marriage counselors. Everybody going along to this is the marriage counselor. Okay? Marriage counselors get paid a lot of money. Israelites are taking up jobs that got no business in Israel. All right? Priests, clergymen, all these jobs, they got there's a check that come with it. That's why they're doing it. There's money involved in it. There's money involved in idolatry. You think people bowing and you think the upper heads really, they know ain't nothing in that statue. They don't bow to it behind closed doors, but they're going to make sure you do. Because whatever you bow to, you honor to, and you will give up your substance for. That's what this whole world is about. And it's clouded by idolatry. And these days, I will wait till I show you something about some of these days. Tom Sheep.
Against whom make ye a wide mouth?
He said, against whom do you sport yourselves? Who are you sticking out your chest to? Who are you coming against? He's talking to the wicked doers, to the seed of adulterers, and most of this world is built on adultery. I hear songs, all the songs I hear today is about adultery. It's about whore, being whores, right or wrong, being promiscuous, men and women, not just one. Takes two to tango. Okay? The men are looking for it, and the women are looking for it. Some women are more aggressive than our man is with a woman. So don't get yourselves tracked off. Stay away from it, man. If you ain't getting married, man, leave it alone. Give yourself a chance to learn God first. That way, when you do get married and you have children, you can teach them the right way and how to serve God. But when the whoredom comes out, it throws everything off. That's why girls today don't get taught by their mothers how to dress, how to sit down, how to stand up, mannerism. Like the man said, and I said it a long time ago. When I said it, a certain person told me I shouldn't say that. But now you see, he said it. You don't have to just have sex. against your husband to be the whore, to play the whore, to be adultery. There's more than ways to do it. There are things called characteristics, okay, of a whore. There are things that women do to show you what kind of a woman she is. There are things that men do to show you what kind of a man he is.
I like to talk to men.
Okay? You have some women that are attention seekers. You have men like that too. The men that I'm gonna tell you how they get down. The women that like attention, you hear their mouth more than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
She's in that room, and she get out and she come in this room. And she come out and she go in this room. And she go in this. And there's nothing but men in this room, but she in that room too. Righteous woman, godly woman, woman in Israel, she's okay, I'm here with my husband. Because the room get filled up with men. She's gonna tell her husband, baby, you know what, I'm gonna go inside the kitchen. Or I'm gonna go in the bathroom. Or I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go, and he gonna say, okay. He's gonna no. These are the things that make a man love a woman more. Look at you like I ain't even gotta say it. She no. She's letting me know she don't want nobody else looking at her but me. See, when she gives me all that attention, oh, you don't know what's gonna happen. I'm going to spoil her. I can spoil her. I can love her and spoil her because I know how she get down. She's not gonna turn.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
You say, man, well, you don't get women, don't spoil them. No, you got to know the type of woman you have.
I love
You
it.
get a godly woman, and some women don't know God and got those godly traits.
I love it.
Look. My Ima last week told one of my nieces, look, when you bending down, you don't bend down and stick your behind out. Your behind should not be out. You never do that. No woman should do that. Women don't sit on steps, on the stoop. Even if it's a bunch of women on the stoop, that's no good. Because that's what men do. When you come on the block, you see us on the block. You see us, men, we outside like that. If you notice when you read a lot of these, you don't hear about too much women have too much say so and a lot of stuff. They busy on them kids, not in the man's business. Look. But then now, Chief Shama said something that's how it was before. That ain't now. But men has been feminized. They're softer. And the woman has been masculinized. Don't think it's just the men getting feminized and the women stayed away. No. The women are getting harder like men, how men should be, and their thoughts and how they handle men now. It's how men used to handle women. It's all switched up. And it's in the prophecy. God said that's going to happen. Nothing happens unless God allow it. Okay? So you just follow God and don't get caught up in that. And then for a woman, don't think in your head, well, see, God said a woman shall surpass a man. So no, it doesn't mean for you to get big-headed and haughty. He says it's going to come a time where they're going to meet up on the same. But women are going to be doing the same things men are doing, and men are going to be doing the same things. For women to surpass men, men got to get weaker. Got to break them down. So that's why. So you don't read certain things and get big and say, well, see, that's right. No. You got people right now in different parts of the world that claim the tribe of Ephraim or the tribe of this. And they say they are one of the sons and daughters and the descendants of the 10 tribes that got taken out. And got now the 10 tribes, they got taken out and they got pushed all up in Europe. All over Europe, all over. That's up north. Okay? And you have people who are Czechoslovakian, Vikings, you got Chinese people, Japanese people that say that they come from that line. And they eat fat. They eat fat and eat unclean things to say that because they said that, well, they're going to do this when they go out there, right? Remember, God said, if you don't do this in this land, I'm going to kick you out, and you're going to eat unclean out there, and you're going to do this, right? So they're saying, okay, well, that's me, so I'm eating unclean. This is how they identify themselves, which is wrong. Because if a person said, well, look, man, these people I'm reading about, I think I'm out of these people, right? But I'm not going to do the stuff that God don't like. That happened already. I ain't got to do that now. The people that got kicked out, that happened to them. That don't mean we got to keep doing it. That don't mean I got to continue it. Because you have people that think that. But they only latch on to the stuff that God didn't like. People say, yeah, I do that. That's why we eat this, because it's saying that when we get kicked out, we're not going to do it. I said, yeah, but you don't have to do that now, man. You're not the immediate people. You don't have to eat fat to say, well, look, I'm part of these people. Because people read this book and get mixed up, get confused. Certain things don't make sense to them. That's why you have to really study and read this every day to get the right sense of what this is about. He said, against whom do you make a wide mouth and draw out the tongue? Are you not children of transgression, a seed of falsehood? You see how God look at them? First of all, you just a seed of a wicked day. You don't have too much to say. He said, inflaming yourselves with idols. Okay? Under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys, under the cliffs of the rocks, because that's what they were doing. They were sacrificing their sons and their daughters to a god that looked like a bull. Today they call it Taurus. Back then it was Apis. Today they call it Taurus the bull, which is synonymous with the constellations, sun, moon, and star worship, astrology, birthdays, Christmas, Easter, all those, everything I just mentioned is together. They all are together. Okay? So they inflamed themselves with idols under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys. What valley? Valley of Tophet. Now they call it the Valley of Hinnom. God cursed that valley. You know what a valley is? You got a mountain. Say this is a mountain. When you climb down that mountain, you're back on the land, right? Right? But then there's another mountain here. There's another hill here. So you live in the valley, the lowest part of where the hills and the mountains are at. When it rains, it gets flooded there a lot. It's good for farmland. It keeps water. You can irrigate water to that part of the valley. They stood on top of the mountain, Mount Moriah. The idol was all the way down there. Big, giant statue, like the Statue of Liberty and all them. Big. And he got his hands out like this. Don't it look familiar? Got his hands out. Their hands are furnaces. And in this chest, when it opens up, you know, like a morgue, when you go to the morgue and people pull the dead body up, the thing, right? It has slots. This thing is big and it has slots where you put the body in live and push the coffin in, and you burn up in there. They don't kill the babies and then burn them. They burned them alive. They burned them alive. It's part of the ritual. Listen, this was the way of the whole world. Y'all don't even know how the world was before we got here. Okay? Every 500 years, the way the world thinks gets worse, and it changes. Okay? It changes. We like to use fancy words for wicked deeds. That's everybody burned their children back then. Abraham came from where? Babylon, right? Ur the Chaldees, right? You know what the main deity was? A fire god. Everybody burnt their children. Moab, same thing. The Syrians, the same thing. The Assyrians. Everybody did that. That's why in the law he said, do not cause your sons or daughters to pass through the fire. For Momo, we call them Momo. We don't acknowledge the names. That means everybody was doing it. That means it was a thing of the world. God should have told them, he said, you don't do it. Now let's rewind back. Did not God tell Abraham, he said, take your son, whom thou lovest, thine only son, to sacrifice him to the mountain that I tell you about?
Mhm.
People like to put words up. Look, we're good for putting words in each other's mouth. I'm good for saying stuff that you said that you didn't say. You said 3 words, I added 2 more. That's lying, man. We got to stop that. If you don't remember, say you don't remember. Say, you know what? Think about it. Say, okay, you know what? Benefit of the doubt, I may have said it, or I may not. Because we say things when we're happy. We say things when we're sad. We say things when we're desperate. And the biggest one of all, we say things when we are angry. We do things when we are angry and forget. I had been angry, okay, and said things and didn't remember I said it. And I have 100 people telling me, hey, Nick, you did say that. Yeah, you did say, but that part you say. But I don't remember saying it. So guess what? I said it because he was angry. You know why? My heart is telling me, boy, you was upset. You're not gonna remember we ain't gonna remember every blow when you fight. Tell me that. What will go on? When it happens what? Action happens quick. So when we're emotional, sometimes we don't remember. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, oh wow, while I was fighting that dude, I remember seeing somebody in a red hat there. Yeah, I remember now. But I didn't remember right after.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be careful what we say and come out of our mouths. Yeah.
Emotions take over when you're angry.
It's easy for me to put words in your mouth. Now, you didn't say it. This is the other side now. You didn't say it, brother. And I'm telling you, y'all, but you did say it. How can you hear something I said that I didn't say? That's a formulation. That's something that went on in your head, too. What Tishama was talking about. My husband said, man, that's what you thought. You thought I said that. I didn't say that. You heard it in your head. Hasn't that happened to everybody in here? When you thought somebody said something and they said, no, I didn't say that. I said this. It don't even rhyme with what they said. You heard something different. Am I correct? So that means you could be wrong. Am I correct? Give it the benefit of a doubt. Move out. Come shoot.
And draw out the tongue. Are ye not children of transgression, a seed of falsehood?
Where we at?
Verse 5.
Okay. He said, look, against whom? He said, who are you lifting yourself against? Why do you think your life is so great? Who do you think you are? You exalting yourself like this. Remember, these are seeds of the adult. These are children of adulterers. All right? And in the book, it says that the children of adulterers will not be established. You know what that means? I go and I have a kid out there. She's not married. This is my baby mama now, right? That child is going to have a problem doing this. He will not be established. Or he'll be doing it until he get old enough to make his own decisions, and then he go off. Don't we see that in Israel a lot?
Right.
And you wonder why. You say, yeah, but they go off. Because you didn't, this relationship didn't start correctly by God's laws. The family didn't get started correctly. So there's quirks in there. So the end result is always the children. The end result is always the children. The sins of the fathers go on the sons. Today, it go on all the children. I see it jump on daughters. Like it would jump on the son. He said, so these type of people who are born of a wicked bed have a lot of pride in them naturally, in life. Okay? Say that again? That's the world. Because everybody's having sex and they're not married now. I gotta get DNA checked to see who my daddy is. But my mother went to a party. And she had fun, so much fun, she don't remember. But she pregnant.
45
Doesn't that happen? Let's keep it a buck. That happens.
45.
Oh man, I'm pregnant, but I don't know if it's John or Johnny. I was with both of them the same week. And you start digging in the ass, you say, well, how you get to, you don't know which child it is. He said, oh, but because she slept with them within the same week or the same month or the same day. Today is the same day. That's why you have Maury making so much money. That thing is still on TV today. I was a kid when he was up there. You are not the child. He's making, that's his biggest topic on that show. Think about it, y'all. He used to do other stuff. He don't do nothing but that now. Yeah. DNA swapping to see whose child this is. Why? It's too much whoredom going on.
Too much water.
Then the men now, okay, they create condoms. They create condoms for whoremongers, right? So I can have all the fun I can have and not get her pregnant now. Preventative sex. You can still have sex, but wear this or put this device in you, woman. They got devices that go up in the woman that stop the sperm. All of that, you can't be doing that. You're killing.
Wickedness.
It's ultimate wickedness. But society said, dude, you can do that. Give the kids condoms.
Birth control.
No good. Birth control is no good, man. But the reason why they say birth control, because you got dudes raping women. You got women out there whoring all over the place. It's out of control now. And we got a lot of bastards being born from it. That's what happens when you have a child born out of wedlock, or a child born of incest, or of rape, or of whoredom. You got more of that. So he said, inflaming yourselves with idols under every green tree, slain. So you was born out of this wicked thing, and you're an idolatrous person. Okay? Verse 6.
Among the smooth stones of the stream is that portion.
That's your portion. Among the smooth stones of the stream is your portion. You sit down by the stream, you take stone, and you throw it in, and scared of the woman. That's as far as your life goes. That's it. That's what you live for. That's what they say. You type of people, that's what you living for. He said, they are thy lot. That's your lot. That's your reward. You have a nice backyard. You have a nice house. That's your reward. You got a nice garden here. That's your reward. Some shit.
Even to them hast thou poured a drink offering.
Even to this water that you threw the rocks in, the smooth stone that you threw, you even bow down to that. I gave you these beautiful scenarios. I gave you this scene for you to master and enjoy it. But you turn around and bow down to the tree now. So I'm looking at this thing called signs and symbols, because every deity, every holiday, everything that is not of God has a logo. They call it logo today. See, I'm gonna tell you what people call it today. People don't say, "Oh, look at the symbol on it." They call it logo. Logo is a symbol that represents a God. That's what it is. Shape, form, look, is all idolatry. And now you go and you bow down to these things. God said, see, so you can't be talking too much because you see the bed of an adultery. Your mother and your father committed adultery and made you. And you commit idolatry. He said, upon a lofty high mountain hast thou set thy bed. Even thither wentest thou to offer sacrifice. He said, because that's what back then, the people went to offer sacrifices to demons and to the idols. They went up in the mountains. They went deep up in the mountains to hide and do it. Okay? Verse 8.
Behind the door also, in the post, hast thou set up thy remembrance. For thou hast discovered thyself to another than me.
You have discovered yourself to another than me. That's what God said. You went to another. You went to somebody else in worship. Don't that sound like what a man would say?
Yeah.
You went and discovered, you opened up you took your clothes off for another man.
Mhm.
That's what he's saying. You discovered yourself. You revealed yourself. You was only supposed to do that with me. Right? He said, and art gone up. He said, you revealed yourself. You know what that means? I made my mind up to go and serve another God. He said, and art gone up, meaning that you going up now to sacrifice. Tom Sheep.
Thou hast enlarged thy bed, and made thee a covenant with them. Thou lovest their bed where thou sawest it.
You like it. You like what the idol tells you is okay to do. You like it over there because the rules that's over here is not over there. You can eat what you want over there. You can do what you want when you feel like it. Okay? That's the whole world. That's why nobody wants to do these commandments. Tom Sheep.
And thou wentest to the king with ointment, and didst increase thy perfumes, and didst send thy messengers far off, and didst debase thyself even unto hell.
Even unto hell.
Thou art wearied in the greatness of thy way, yet saidst thou not, there is no hope. Thou hast found the life of thine hand, therefore thou wast not grieved.
He said, and you went to the king. You went to that foreign king. You went to their leader, okay, with ointment, with gifts, all right, and smelling good, all dressed up. Hey, when you went over there to that party, you got dressed up. But for Shabbat, you wear anything. That's the mindset that God is saying. To sing that song, we heard you loud and proud. But to say the 10 Commandments, you don't hear you at all. You got to understand what is being said here by God when he said that. When we do that, we debase ourselves. We make ourselves lower than what God said he wants us to be. We lower ourselves when we go away from his commandments. We lower ourselves when I leave off and I don't want to be with my husband no more. I go, look, you have some men that abandon their wives. And then the woman is a good woman. See, I don't speak up for all men. I don't speak up for all women because occurrences happen. Events happen. Sometimes you got a good man and a bad woman. Sometimes you got a good woman and a bad man. You understand what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. God didn't teach them to be any other way. So when you go off, you debase yourself. He said that thou didst debase thyself even unto hell. Meaning after your whole life, you've been doing this, and then when you die, that's where you're going. Tell she.
And of whom hast thou been?
It said, thou art wearied in the greatness of thy way, yet saidest thou not, there is no hope. Thou hast found the life of thine hand, therefore thou wast not grieved. You see, you art wearied in the greatness of your way. You so weighed down with iniquity, your spirit so weighed down with iniquity, you can't see how you're being abased, how you're being brought low. He said, yet you don't say to yourself, there is no hope. Thou hast found the life of your hand. In other words, I don't see myself doing this stuff y'all talking about. I can't see myself dressing like this. And the women say, I can't see myself wearing skirts all the
Tell
time.
you straight up.
The men say, yo, I can't see myself wearing a robe or a turban. I can't see myself eating this hard bread for 7 days.
Can see myself
You see what I'm
doing the
saying?
same thing
Every day. Oh, I can't see myself. So I can't go on vacation. It's a 2-week vacation. So that's 2 Shabbats you're going to miss. You can't miss those 2 Shabbats. So you can't take a 2-week vacation. You better leave Saturday night and be back here by Thursday. Everything about you going to be different.
That's right.
If you're doing it according to here. So if you don't see yourself doing it, that's what it means. Thou hast found the life of thine hand. You are going to play the card you dealt with. You don't see. You don't see yourself doing this. So you're going to play the cards you dealt with as a heathen. That's God talking. He said, therefore, thou was not grieved. You wasn't grieved when you heard this stuff like, oh, wow, okay. I believe that. You know what? I'm going to stop doing that. You see the mindset we're supposed to have? Tell me.
And of whom hast thou been afraid or feared, that thou hast lied, and hast not remembered me, nor laid it to thy heart?
You don't even like consider it like, man, I sinned. You don't even say like, yeah, I did sin. No guilt. No guilt. No grief. Nor did you lay it to heart. You didn't sit down and lay it to heart. Like, you know what lay it to heart means? Come to terms with yourself. He said, you ain't even do that with yourself. You ain't sit down and be truthful with your heart yet. He said, have not I held my peace even of old, and thou fearest me not? He said, man, I've been holding my peace. I ain't banged you yet. And you still don't see it. And you still don't fear me. I'm waiting, but you ain't making no move. This is what God is saying. Tamshi.
I will declare thy righteousness and thy works, for they shall not profit thee. When thou criest, let thy companies deliver thee, but the wind shall carry them all away.
The wind gonna carry them all away.
Vanity shall take them. But he that put his
I will
trust...
declare thy righteousness, not meaning that the person was right. He said, I'm gonna do whatever right you did, I'm gonna declare it. He said, and your works, but you wasn't right and you didn't do right works. So what? For they shall not profit thee. Because you wasn't right. So whatever you did that you thought was right, it's not gonna profit you. Time sheet.
But
he said, when thou criest, let thy companies deliver thee. Or who you turn on God for, let that help you. Let that stock of wood help you. Let Jake help you. You know, many people that came from Christianity have been Israelites for 50 years and then left and went back to Christianity. Am I correct? Am I right or wrong?
Yep.
Many people for many years. I've seen thousands of people come and go right back to where they came back
to where they
look,
came
look,
from.
as if they was never here.
As if they never left.
The memory of them sitting here has been wiped
away. It's all about jolly.
God gave them a chance, and they disassembled in their hearts.
Ooh.
They did not believe, so they did not perform the action. So God got them out of there. All he do is he don't do nothing special. He don't allow you to have whatever's in your heart. And what's in your heart is not here. So you're going to wind up going. You're going to wind up having an excuse one day. And that one day going to lead to 1 week, then 2 weeks, then 6 months. And before you know it, a year passed like that. And then as if you're not here to take heed. Time sheet.
But he that put his trust in me shall possess the land, and shall inherit my holy mountain, and shall say, cast ye up, prepare the way, take up the stumbling block out of the way of my people. For thus saith the high and lofty one.
High and lofty one.
That inhabited
That's
eternity.
That's another, oh man, it's another great name of God. Lofty. You know what it means? Exalted. It means the highest one. You know what a loft is? Anybody here know what a loft is?
Yeah, like
Very.
it's like a second floor.
A loft has a second floor. You have the flat and you have the second floor. It means it's above the floor. It's above everything. That room's above everything. God is the lofty one. He's above everything. He said, the lofty one that inhabit eternity. Who you know inhabits eternity?
Nobody. But God.
Because he lives forever. He said, I live forever. So eternity keeps itself inhabited around God. Tamshi.
Whose name is holy.
His name is holy. There we go again. His name is holy. That's why we don't say his name. There's many instances all over this book that tell you about God's name. That's why he's called the exalted one. That's over here he's called the holy one. Over here is El Shaddai. You know what I'm saying? Over here is El Shaddai Kippur. Over here is the eternal one. All these great attributes of honor and reverence, but you cannot say his name. There's a reason why there's no vowels with those consonants. It is not meant for any human to say God's name in prayer also.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham prayed to God and he didn't have to say God's name. Right or wrong?
That's right.
Because I hear Israelites say, well, in prayer, no, you don't have to. But listen, man, this is why Israelites fall. They don't listen to their teachers, man. You got to listen to your teachers, man. You cannot say God's name. It is a holy name. Whose name is holy?
Mm-hmm.
Abraham never knew God's name. And Abraham was holy. And he praised God daily. It said, holy beings praise thee daily. So he was still able to praise God and everything that come with it without having to say the Most High's name.
That's right.
You got to be a clown.
On.
Something wrong with you.
You read, no. You read here, you read there, then you may get the goings and the comings of the Lord. You know what that means? You got to stick your head in this book. For the beginners, we always tell the beginners, the people who just not too long started, stay in the first 5. Do not go out the first 5. Because the first 5 is what's keeping us grounded. It's what our father taught us. That law. He didn't teach me history. He didn't teach me nothing else but law. And at a certain time, when I was about 18 or 19, then he said, come on now. We went into the history. And when we went into the history with the mindset of the law, we was able to discern what the people did that was good, what the people did that was wrong. We were able to tell the difference because the law was grounded. I read in the book, Michal took an image and put it in the bed and put a blanket over it to make it seem like David was there, right? So people read that and think it's good to have this. So, well, Michal had an image. Let me tell you something. These are our ancestors, but they are also our examples. They did good, they did bad. No criticism. You follow the good, and you learn what the bad is to stay away from that they did. That's where you read this book in the history. You cannot read stuff that certain men or women did in the history that was against the law and say it's good. It'll say, oh yeah, that one did that. But it was still against the law. That don't mean you read it 1,000 years later and for you to still do it. Why? Why you read the law, you read this book, and like he said, you can accept everything else you read except this. This is a baffler. And now, you know why? You know why? Because we got so much wickedness and pride, okay, and doings that are not good before God. By the time a person gets to this, it's an overwhelming thing. That's why you gotta take it piece by piece, one at a time. You ain't getting this. You ain't getting this all one time. It take a lifetime to get it. So you read here a little, there a little. Begin to stay in the first 5. And please Don't go online listening to people when it comes to this Old Testament. Everybody has their own idea of what this means when they read it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. Tell you.
I dwell in the high and holy place.
That's right.
With him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the
Contrite. You know what that means? Do anybody here know what contrite means? Because if you have pride, these things you're not going to be. Yeah, touch you. Finish that. Finish that verse.
to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones.
Now it said, for thus said the high and lofty one, meaning, once again, these are God's words. Okay?
Yeah.
He said, for thus said the high and lofty one, that inhabited eternity, the one that lives forever, whose name is so holy, you don't need to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I dwell. God said he dwells in the high and holy place. Where God dwells, man can't go. Where he dwells is nothing but holiness where he's at. Okay? He said, with him also, meaning I will also dwell with a person that has these attributes. Okay? As of a contrite and humble spirit. Humble now, let me tell you what humble is. People got humble wrong. Humble means that I conform. That's all it means. Humble doesn't mean, oh, he's quiet, he's humble. No. Humble means I agree, I conform. When God says something and I agree to it. My mother says something, I agree to it. I may have said one thing and then she came and said no. And I said, okay, I back up off of my decision and relent to my mother's decision or my father's decision. That's who you humble to. Parents, husband, and God. Men, we humble ourselves to God. The woman, the children humble themselves to their parents, mother and father.
Yeah. Contrite. Broken spirit.
Broken spirit. All right. Contrite means
contrite spirit.
A broken spirit.
Right.
Now, the type of broken spirit is not the broken spirit you're thinking of. Meaning, I had pride. I was born thinking like this and living this way. But then when I came here, these laws, I start applying them to me, changing my heart. That pride, that spirit of pride that I had, I broke it. Meaning, I tamed the spirit. Contrite spirit means you have a tamed spirit now to serve God. You have to break that spirit that you came in here with in order to serve God.
Feeling or expressing remorse or penitence affected by guilt.
That's when it's broken. When I start to realize that how I've been moving and living and everything is not correct. This is not the way I thought it was. I was told, I was taught, I was brought up. All that now is out the way now. I conform to this. So that spirit is being broken. We don't have that contrite spirit yet, not even Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if you had that contrite spirit, you won't have a problem doing all of God's commandments. It's not a struggle. Okay? Contrite spirit, feeling of remorse. Sometimes a person has to be told, man, you was wrong, man. You should have did that. You see what you did, never brother. And that person got some good in them. Because of what the person brought to them, they'll come forward and say, you know what, you're right, I was wrong. And then you got some people you don't have to do that with. They'll say in their head, you know what? Yo, man. Yeah, yo, I'm about to come over there and holler at you. Yeah, I was wrong, man. The same way I got crazy, the same way I'm gonna let everybody know that I was wrong for being crazy. If I spread a rumor out to everybody saying that you a thief, and I was lying, or I was proved to be wrong, I gotta go back and let everybody that I told that you was a thief, that I was lying or I was wrong.
That's right.
Y'all understand that now? That's what a contrite spirit is.
That's right.
If you could fix it, go back and fix it. Whatever you did that you read in here that was wrong before God, and if you could go back and fix it, fix it. That's a contrite spirit. That's remorse. That's guilt. That's shame of what I did. That's a contrite spirit. That's why the man said, break yourself, fool. He's robbing him. He's carjacking him. And he's telling him to break himself and allow it to happen. Break that gangster spirit you got and allow me to get this from you. That's why they used to say that, break yourself. So over here, contrite is a broken spirit. Now, once I have a broken spirit, meaning I have remorse for what I've been doing, right? I am going to be able to have a humble spirit now. Humble means I will be able to agree and hearken and do what I read. Tell sheet.
But I will not contend forever.
Okay, hold on. There's still more here. He said, contrite and humble spirit to revive the spirit of the humble. That means somebody was dead. That's what that sound like. What does that sound like to y'all?
To revive.
Revive means give animate, give energy to, give life to.
Yeah.
That's what it
That's
means.
what it means, to revive, to
I ain't even
restore.
gotta go to the dictionary.
To revive or to restore.
To restore. Restore means give back.
The spirit of the humble.
The spirit left. There will be a time, if you was right, and if you had a contrite and humble spirit towards God, he's going to revive that spirit.
That's the key.
I'm just reading y'all what it says,
You
man.
can't be wicked and humble.
No,
You gotta be righteous.
you gotta
and
be
humble.
righteous. So
And
you get your spirit gets
Right.
to come back.
And fear God.
He will restore you your spirit,
That's
man. Because there comes a time. See, we control this spirit while it's in us and we alive. That's why God said, humble your spirit. Right or wrong. God tell us how to curb our spirit. But when it's time to die, you can't hold that spirit. You don't have no mastery of how to keep it here. It's not going to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go.
Gotta go.
But then God will bring it back if it had a contrite and humble spirit. He said, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. So all the humble and the contrite today with God will get their spirit back. Believe it or not. Verse 16, he said, but I will not contend forever. He said, I'm not going to fight with man forever. I'm not going to, every time you do something, I'm not going to always fight with you. He said, neither will I always be wrong. Neither am I, look, a lot of times I'm not going to get mad all the time. I can't allow myself to get upset over every little thing you do. I know you ain't right. I expect certain things to go off. That's what God's saying. Okay? He said, for the spirit should fail before me and the souls which I have made. Meaning, these souls that I made, after that event in the garden, the spirit failed now. The spirit is tainted. It's not how God created it. It got tainted with sin. And that's why he don't contend. Because if he do contend, or if he stay upset, everybody dead today. And God is not a liar. Will come up forth out of his mouth. If he say this is going to happen, this is going to happen, it's going to happen, and he's going to let it play out. That's his long suffering. He ain't going to get mad and say, you know what? Nah, I'm going to just kill the whole world right now. Get all of this. He's not like us. So it gives us time to get back right with God. That's his mercy. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it says mercy endureth forever.
Forever. Kileolam kasdo.
For his mercy endureth forever. Y'all know that song.
Kileolam
Every line.
kasdo.
For his mercy endureth forever.
Kileolam kasdo.
Because if it wasn't for his mercy, we would have never lived. We would have never been born. We would have never got to 2024. We would have never got in. Please. Term sheet.
For I will not contend forever.
Uh-huh.
Neither will I be always wroth, for the spirit should fail before
So
me.
I'm not gonna be mad with you all the time, man.
Wow. He said one day you're gonna die.
You're
The
gonna
spirit
die.
fail.
The spirit's
So
gonna
I can't
fail.
get angry.
So I'm not gonna do that with you, man. I know how I made you. I know what you're made of. I know what's in you, man.
Yeah.
This is mercy. That's why we got to get this right now. And it's not impossible because I've seen a man do it. I've seen my father do it. I've seen it. He accomplished it to where he was able to say things that we can't say yet. That's when you know it's accomplished, where you're able to declare certain things and nobody can say that's not true. That's how I seen it. Yeah, time sheet.
And the souls which I have made, for the iniquities of his covetousness was I wroth and smote him.
I was mad at him.
For
For
his
his iniquity.
covetousness.
Oh yeah, and his covetousness. You look at things that don't belong to him.
I was wroth
You know what I'm
and smote
saying?
him.
He said, I was walking, I hit him up.
Mhm.
Time sheet.
I hid me and was wroth. And he went off.
He said, I hid me. He said, I hid myself from him because I was mad at him.
Mm. Mm.
So you can't do things to get God so upset when he hide himself from
From
you.
you.
Now, when he hide himself from you, you ain't sitting in here no more.
What are you gonna do to bring him back?
Man, it said when you return unto the Lord, you got to come 10 times stronger. So, and that was in ancient days, they said that. That was for the man that was close to God. So today it's double that. It's 20 times stronger. And look, not too many people do it.
Mm-hmm.
I have not known one that left and stayed out for so long and came back 10 times stronger. I don't know why he done that yet. Time sheet.
He went on frowardly in the ways of his heart. I have seen his
He
ways.
said, for the iniquity of his covetousness was I wrought, and I smote him. I hid me and was wroth. Now that God hid himself from the person, because I'm not revealing none of my righteousness to you. I don't want you to do right now because of what you did. I'm mad at you. Okay? So everything that's in your head, you're going to go ahead and do it forwardly in the way of his heart. The lust of his own heart. God will give you the lust of his own heart. That's because he hid himself from you. When he gives you the hearts of your own lust, that means he pulls off from you. He ain't messing with you anymore. And he's going to let you go on your own. Guess what? You're not going to stay doing this on your own because the natural heart of your own lust is not to do this. So he does hide himself from people. Yeah. You ever hid yourself from somebody when you was mad? Yeah, man, I don't want that to see you, man. I don't like what you did or say. And you leave off. Y'all ain't got to answer. Y'all ain't got to answer. But one thing I got to say is, when these lessons are being brought from God here, scan your heart to see if you got that in you. And be truthful with yourself. Because that's what I do. That's the first step of correcting your heart before God. But be truthful with yourself. Am I like this? Have I done that? Did I think like that? Have I that don't cross my mind? Because if it has, that's part of you. That's in your heart. And if it's not right before God, that's the part that you got to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you clean your heart up before God. So you don't have time going against what you hear or what you read. Term sheet.
I have seen his ways and will heal him. I will lead him also.
But even that guy, God said, I hid from him, right? He said, "Bye, I'm gonna heal him. I'm gonna heal him."
But what caused him to heal? He said, I
He
see his
said, "I see
ways.
his ways." See, he did something over here, right? But he still got a good heart. The ways come from your heart.
His ways is what
So
caused
God
to
wants
heal.
us to do his commandments
Your ways
and have
is
our
what
hearts
caused
clean before him too. Then now you ain't got to worry about me violating you or you violating me. Your ways, your mannerisms, your behavior, your reaction to things, your treatment, all that is your ways. Timesheet.
I will lead him also and restore comforts unto him and to his mornings. I create the fruit of the lips, peace, peace to him that is far off and to him that is near, saith the Lord.
God
and
said,
will
I
heal him."
create the fruit of the lips.
Mhm.
Okay, in other words, we call it the power of the spoken word.
Mhm.
God has the power of the spoken word. Okay, he creates. When he speaks, whatever he speaks, it creates. The fruit of your labor is your paycheck, or what you got back from what you put in. The fruit of your body is your children. The fruit of the tree is an orange tree, so the fruit is a tree. Is an orange. It said, "Peace, peace to him that is afar off." This is God saying this,
Yeah.
right? He said, "And to him that is near." He said, "The Lord." He said, "And I will heal him." He said, "I will heal him." How God heal you? With these commandments.
Yep.
But anyway, how you wind up finding out about this. Forget how. You just wind up learning about this now. Don't you think? You don't use the word lucky, because luck is the name of a God. But God has showed some type of favoritism to you. Let's put it that way. God put some favoritism in you, and you're going to see what you're going to do with it. Time sheet.
But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and
See,
dirt.
that's you can tell that's another attribute of a wicked person. They're all over the place. They're in and out of every conversation. They want to control everything that's going on. Want to be the center of everything going on. And then when they do that, in doing these things, you trouble the sea. There's so much. It said the list of wicked things. It goes on and on. But once you're outside of this, whatever you do is not correct before God. He said his ways, and he said, I was mad when he did this over here. But he got some ways with him I like. Because over here, he was the only one that thought like this. Over here, if he didn't say this, this wouldn't have happened. Over here, he was holding it over here. He did this here. He thought about my name. He thought about his mother. He thought about his father. He thought about his brother. He thought about his son. That's how it goes. He said, so guess what? I ain't mad at him no more. I ain't mad at her no more. That's how God is, man. That's how we are. We're like that with each other. Time sheet.
But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt.
Throw up everything.
There is no peace, saith my God, to the wicked.
There ain't no peace to the wicked. Good. Don't be fooled. More money, more problems, the man said. Let me tell y'all something. Today, the rich, the wealthy, are not happy either. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
They ain't happy back then. That's how bad this planet is now. That's how bad everything is for man. Back then, a man was rich. He really was rich, and he was really happy. He didn't get sued. You can't sue nobody back then. Today, you get rich, a lot of taxes. Somebody can sue you for anything. You got more problems. You got more heads to take care of. More money. You got to keep, and you got to keep that up. You got to keep that up. You got to keep. You ain't sitting on no That's for kings. Even the rich man gets stressed. Even the rich man is wicked. Yeah. So stop looking at rich people like their lives are so great. That's their portion. Some of them be fronting like their lives is great. Yeah. Well, I've seen people, everybody who got billionaires, they got a lot of problems. They don't see that. There is no peace, said my God, to the wicked. Okay, now we're going to go to 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 15.
Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord.
Now, hearken now, God sent me to anoint you. To anoint you. See, the kings, seems like God picked the kings, huh? From what I'm reading, God picked the king. God told one king, go over there. He said, I picked somebody better than this guy. I don't want him to be king no more. Go over there and anoint him king. Yeah. He said, now therefore, now that you king, now that I got you as king, and see the thing is being a king, you can't get big-headed. That's why the king is ordered to read. He has a copy of the law. Only two people had a copy of the law, which was the priest, the high priest, and the king. The king was the high priest, and he wrote out his own copy, word for word, of the law. Just not the Old Testament, what we got today. Thou shalt not. He wrote that down, and every day he reads that. He said, so that what? No, but the king, he said, so that his heart be not lifted up amongst his brethren. The first thing, God didn't say so that he don't turn, that way he don't turn on me. No, because he said, that way he don't turn on you guys.
You learn to fear.
God, he wasn't even thinking about him. He was thinking about the servants, the people following the king. He said, look, you got to stay in line, leader, king, teacher, whatever, so that you don't take advantage of these people and treat them wrong, because these are God's people. So you got to read out of it every day. The king was ordered to do that. So now you being king, whatever I tell you, you got to do it. That's why whenever the king says something, they say is as if God said it. The king, God has gave kings the power to pronounce, let him live or death. Yeah. So the king, after God is the king, he hold that power. And then a righteous God, a righteous king like David, righteous king like Solomon, Hezekiah, good King Josiah. These guys, that's when Israel was winning. Because these guys, they said, wait a minute, we're not going to have this go down no more. So I'm going to go and clear out I'm going to everybody's house and make sure there's no idols in there. That's what Hezekiah did. King Asa did that. They didn't just in their city where they cleaned up the whole thing because I'm responsible. God coming, he hit up the first one he gonna hit up is the head.
That's right.
So the head gotta follow these commandments. But he said the first thing he said why was so that my heart don't get lifted up over you guys. That means I'm the king, but I'm still got to treat you as we are equal. And you realize it and give me my props as a king still. That's how it's supposed to go. That's what leaders teach us everything, man. I see just the karate films, all those karate films. It's like most of those guys didn't have fathers. They go to school to learn karate. The teacher, wind up, they bow to their teacher and they treat their teacher like their own father. And they put their life on, and this real Japanese culture. I don't know about now, but I know back then it was. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's where all those karate films come from. Teacher smacked. Wow! What are you doing? You did, no, teacher. Then he went down on the floor. And he was crying. But what were you doing? We said, Mom, what happened? Why you hit me, Mom? Why you hit me, Dad? Yeah. We are not there yet. Because if we can't question God, you can't question your parents. If you can't question God, you can't question your parents. Am I right or wrong?
That's right.
Can I get something?
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
Question me, I'm a headbutt.
Some parents, you're going to get a reaction that you ain't going to like. Especially from a person.
While I'm choking.
Because if I ain't doing it to my parents, you ain't doing that to me. Definitely. So you better watch the type of dad and mom you got.
You're gonna get a headbutt.
Watch it, man.
While you're being choked.
Because some moms and some dads ain't having it. I beat my children. You gonna listen. Okay?
Just keep on.
I don't abuse them. And it's not child abuse. It says spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Yeah.
They talk about it in the Proverbs and in the Psalms. Because you creating a monster. So we got to be all correct, and then our children get to do what they want. That's why when they get old, they don't want to do this. Because we don't discipline them in the ways of this. I remember now, if you was a type, you had a rough father, you had a rough mother, hard discipline. That's what you need. Take that discipline that you learned that you didn't like and apply it over here now. Because really and all, you're very stubborn and hard-headed. You need that. Tom Sheep.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts. I remember that which Amalek did to Israel.
I ain't forget what he did. Certain things a person do to you, you're not going to forget. I'm sorry. You get flashbacks sometimes. Yeah, man. Why he did that? Why she did that? You hate me? I wouldn't have did that to you. Even when I'm mad at you. Where's the hostility? Where the fire comes from? That's why God said we got to deal with each other. A lot of these laws is dealing with each other. And God, remember what Amalek did. You know what Amalek did? There's a people named Amalek that come out of a people called the Edomites. You heard of the Edomites. They're not the white people. Look, there was a time when Israelites were saying the Moabites and the Ammonites was the Chinese and the Japanese people, and they are not. Japanese and Chinese people have been around before Abraham was born. So they was here before Moab and Ammon was born. Yeah. Check, and you'll see. You have the Qing and the Ming dynasty from 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 BC. This is around Noah's time. Yeah. So they did not come out of Moab and Ammon. Remember, our people today that call themselves Israelites are coming from all denominations of religions. They're coming from the streets. They're coming from the jails. They're coming from orphanages. They're coming from group homes. Just remember that. They're coming from gangs. Most of the Israelites in the 60s were gangbangers. Nobody had a job in the congregation. So everybody's coming from a different walk of life today. Okay? Not everybody's not coming out of Egypt like back then. Amalek waited for the children of Israel to come out of Egypt, and he didn't confront them face to face. He waited till the mighty men passed. He waited till the warriors passed. He waited till everything passed till we get towards the end. You got the old, the sick, children, women, the ones the feeble who couldn't protect and fight themselves much. He went to the weak part and attacked them. God didn't like that. God didn't like that. And this was hundreds of years ago. This happened hundreds of years ago when Moses was still alive, right? God said, okay, I remember what Amalek did to Israel. It's time for them to get that. It's time for them to get theirs. Okay? He said, how he laid wait for him in the way. He ambushed him. We can't ambush each other. We can't ambush each other. You're an Israelite, I'm an Israelite. I can't look. If I'm gonna come at you, I gotta come at. You gotta see me coming. You gotta see me coming. I'm coming with my sword. If I lay a wait, slay you, ugly before God. Ugly before God. Now, if I lay wait, the enemy, the Moabite, no problem. If I'm walking past and I see two lion-like men in a pit, you know what they was doing in that pit? They're in a foxhole. You know what a foxhole is? It's used for two things: to hide and to ambush. That's where they found Saddam Hussein in the foxhole where he was hiding. Now, you got a nice house. You got bushes and trees all in front of your house. I'm in them bushes. I'm in that bush. And I'm waiting for you. You come in or out your house, I'm hitting you. You're not my brother. You're not Israel. But that don't count. That's how God is. I can sell an animal that died of itself. I can't eat that. And I can't give it to you or sell it to you, my brother. I can give it to the alien. I can also give it to the stranger. It said that you can give it to the stranger. So there's certain things that are allowed and not allowed by God. He said, now go, verse 3, now go and smite Amalek. He said, go and smite him. You know what smite me? Wipe him out. Wipe him out. Okay? He said, and utterly destroy all that they had, and spare them not, but slay both. Listen to this now. Okay? Because you ain't never heard that fake God on the cross talk like this. He said, go smite Amalek, utterly destroy. You know what utterly means? Utterly means 100%
Wipe them out.
destroy. Means nothing gets left alive.
Now go
Okay.
and smite Amalek,
Uh-huh.
and utterly destroy all that they have.
Everything that they own, destroy it. So there's no spoils of war here.
No.
That's clear. Because usually when you go to war, boom, 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 you bring back spoils of war. But with this guy, God hated him so much that everything is that he owns in his possession is hated of God too. Move. Come on. Turn sheet.
And spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant,
He
suckling.
said, don't spare anybody alive. Don't feel sorry for anybody alive. When you can't have pity when God don't have pity. You can't have more pity than the Most High. You can't feel sorry for a thing more than the Most High because He's the Creator.
Come on, man.
He told Jonah that. He said, man, now you discouraged. He said, man, I made that, man.
I need it.
It served its purpose here for you. Now you won't bend down and shake because the Lord is there. He said, I created it, I killed it. You can't get more upset over, you can't cry for my children more than me. You ain't gonna be mad more than my son than me, or love my son more than me. That's what God is saying.
Right.
He says, so look, get something now. You're gonna go and you're gonna destroy these people and don't spare nobody. He said, kill man, kill woman, infant. We know what an infant is, right?
Babies.
Baby.
Suckling.
Yeah.
That's the ones that's crawling. They just learned how to crawl. They just learned how to walk. That's an infant, right? And suckling. You know what the suckling is? That's the newborn. That's the one that can't crawl. That's the one that's staying on the, you put him on his back, and you leave and you come out, you see it's almost half term. That's the suckling. And because he breastfeeds off his mother. Okay? He's still small. He said, kill them too. He said, and ox, and the sheep, and the camels, and the asses. Now I'm gonna just tell y'all one thing. When God does things, don't question it. Don't feel sorry for nobody here.
Okay.
We gotta really start being on God's side.
Okay.
Because this is why people say, yeah, well, why would God? I can't teach a person. You giving me, you questioning. He was upset. Didn't you? He just told you why. He just told you why. He didn't spare. Amalek hit my people up when they were weak and he didn't spare. Now I remember that. I ain't forget it. This is the time. Hit them all up and don't spare nobody. That's it. No questions asked, man. So I'm going to go back to it again. Abraham did not have a problem killing Isaac. It doesn't say it in the book, does it?
No.
It said he immediately strapped up and told his son, let's push. Come on, servant, let's go. And Isaac wasn't feeling away because my dad was going to kill me. Because then he would have never followed God. He'd have been like, nah, I ain't following you because my dad was going to kill me for you. Ha! So stop putting thoughts in these people's heads.
Man knew what it was.
He knew what it was and he was with it. Y'all don't understand that mind because nobody today has that type of mind. And until you read this book and apply, you will learn to accept that type of mind for yourself. Only for yourself. You cannot expect everybody to get this how you get it. Because not everything is for everybody. Levels to this, man. He wasn't thinking about, oh, my dad. They didn't think like that, man. They didn't think like that. They didn't criticize their parents. We ain't criticizing these people. Time sheet.
Now go and smite Amalek, utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not. But slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camels and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Tel Aviv, 200,000 footmen, 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go, depart.
See what he did? He laid wait in the valley. He's on the end. He's going to ambush him. I can ambush you. You don't serve God. You ambush me. You ambushed me. And God, we forgot about it. God didn't. Time sheet.
Get you down from among the Amalekites.
You Kenites, you guys, y'all too close to them. If we come and y'all here, we're going to kill y'all too. So I'm going to give y'all a chance. All right? Get away from these people. Why did he treat them like that? Why did he give them, why did he deliver them? Why? Read. Why did he deliver them?
Lest I destroy you with them, for you showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came out of
You
Egypt.
looked out for one of my brothers. That's it. Get the people. You ain't no nation no more.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you looked out for my Israelite brother over there. Oh, yeah, that's my brother. All right, so you good with me. And your children are good with me. Your wife is good with me. Nobody can mess with her out here. Nobody can mess with your kids out here. You did something for one of my brothers. You looked out for one of my brothers. I will never run down on you. You get a pass. God, man. You looked out for my sister. You looked at my father's friends, my mother's friends, all of that. And their children in the same. That's how God deal with them. Say, yo, you Kenites, leave from these people. You rolling with the wrong people right now.
Rolling
with the wrong people right now.
Wrong side.
Only gonna come to you because of what. Look, you didn't actually do it. Your daddy did it. You still get that.
Right.
Because my daddy told me about it. That's how I know. So, yo, by 9 o'clock, don't be in front of this building.
There you go.
Yeah. Don't be in front of this building. Slide through. When I slide through, the building done.
Going
That's
down.
what happened in here. Time sheet.
Going down.
He said,
So the
"For you show-"
Kenites departed from among the Amalekites.
they got up out of there. They minded their business too. And they said, hey, look, listen. They're about to come, but we out. They didn't warn them, get them a heads up, none of that. Time sheet.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt.
Uh-huh.
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive,
He was told to destroy everything. Uh-huh.
and utterly destroy all the people with the edge of the sword.
Uh-huh.
But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and of the lamb, and all that was good.
All the good stuff,
would
the
not
good,
utterly
good
destroy
material, the good clothes, nice jewelry, trinkets, all this stuff. They wasn't supposed to bring none of that back. Time sheet.
But everything that was vow and refuge, that they destroyed utterly.
But whatever wasn't valuable, they got rid of that. Time sheet.
Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, It repented me that I had set up Saul to be king.
Yeah. He said, man, I'm sorry I made you king, man. As soon as you become, I make you king, make your name, make you great. He said, the first order I give you, no. They follow the commandments. They follow the commandments.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? These were direct commands. Personal, direct commands that come from like your mother and your father. Okay? Because they got their commandments too. So God gave the king a personal command. Smite him, wipe them all out. But he didn't. But he didn't. He said, for he has turned back from following me and hath not performed my commandments. So when you don't perform God's commandments, you turned away from following. You ain't following them no more. You ain't down no more. You switched. You crossed over. You sold out. He said, you set tripping. Okay? I said it in all different forms so everybody from the streets to the bougie house will understand where this thing is coming from. He said, and it grieved Samuel. It grieved Samuel. Because this is not a good thing. Grieved him. He said, and he cried unto the Lord all night. He cried unto God because of this thing here. He said, when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is going about and passed on, and going down to Gilgal. So that means, hey, so Samuel came through, he ain't even check the king. You know what I'm saying? I know, man. That sounds like rejection.
Yeah.
That sounds like he's being avoided right now.
Right.
Okay? He said, and Samuel came to Saul. And Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou the Lord, I have performed the commandment of the Lord. Saul said he performed the command. He said, Blessed be thou the Lord, I have performed the command of the Lord. And Samuel said, what mean it then, if you perform God's commandment, what is the meaning of the bleating of the sheep? Anybody been on a farm? I worked on a farm. Okay? A big farm. A dude had like 500 sheep, one area. Them things make noise. They smell. After a while, you get used to the smell. But that's when you in the, that's what you hear. He said, the bleating of the sheep in mine ears and the lowing of the oxen. That's how the oxen sound. See how the cow go move? Got bulls, they go grunts. The lowing, because it's a low sounding grunt. That's why he called it lowing. He said, what is this all that I'm hearing?
Right.
I ain't supposed to hear all this. All this is supposed to be dead.
Right.
And Saul said, they have brought them from the Amalekites. He didn't take full responsibility yet. He said, for the people, them, the people, they. That's what I'm talking to God, right? Oh, but the people, they. But I'm the one in charge. Okay? Well, the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice it to the Lord thy God. And the rest we have utterly destroyed. God did not tell you to do that. You got to stick to the orders. And that's our problem. We don't stick to what we are told to do. We like to add on. We like to take away. We like to tweak. You know what tweak means? We like to tweak stuff. And that's our problem. God told him, don't bring nothing back. And Samuel said,
Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord has said to me this night.
he said, stay, don't go nowhere. He said, I'm going to tell you what God told me this night. But God, he was crying to God all night. So God told him a couple of things. Now he's going to tell him, touch you.
And he said, say on.
Say on. Uh-huh.
And Samuel said, when thou was little in thine own sight.
See, you got to always be reminded where you came from and how you got here. When you get too big-headed, when you think you're all that and now you're making your own moves, and you ain't got to go along with the rules. Okay? He said, when you was little, when you was nothing in your own sight.
Before you had any.
Look. You still ain't nothing in my sight. When you was nothing in your own sight, when you said to yourself, man, I ain't got nothing, I'm nobody. I ain't like them, I ain't got. When you was little in your own sight, was thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? Big shot.
Big shot now.
So it's a privilege that you are the caretaker of God's people. Okay? He said, and the Lord anointed thee king over Israel. It's a privilege that you have been anointed king over God's people. Okay? I put you in charge of my stuff, man. He had to be anointed for that. All right? He said, the Lord sent thee on a journey. I sent you on a mission. Okay? I told you to go spin. For you young ones that know what that means, he sent them to spin. And he said, when you get there, spin on everything and don't bring it back alive. Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites. So this is what happens if you are a sinner. You get destroyed by God. Now or later. Okay? He said, and fight against them until they be consumed. You'll pound them out until nobody's alive. I told you to do this. He said, wherefore, when didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil? He said, all you was worried about was getting the money. It was getting the jewels, was getting the sheep. You seen a lot of food.
The people I did.
The
but
people,
agreed with
you agreed with it. You let them persuade. Because when they ate with the blood, you stopped them and they stopped. So you should have said, no,
That's right.
y'all ain't gonna get me. First of all, y'all ain't gonna get me jabbed.
Wanted that.
Because if I don't make sure y'all don't do this, it's me.
We low-key wanted to spoil.
Because see, when people leave you in charge, sometimes you gotta rule. You gotta put that foot down. And especially if you got men that you're dealing with, you gotta put both feet down. Because one of those men gonna have something to say. Somebody's not gonna want to listen.
Wow.
Somebody gonna want to go off and do their own thing. That's why it's like this in here. That's why God, if we said appoint chiefs, appoint this, appoint that. And that's what keep everybody in line. Because the men don't like to stay in line either. Tough shit.
And Saul said unto Samuel, yeah, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord has sent me, and have brought Agag king of Amalek, and
Okay.
have utterly destroyed the
Okay.
Amalekites.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But the people took of the spoil, sheep, oxen, and the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal.
Two more verses and we done.
And Samuel
He said the same sheep that God didn't want. He said we bring it back to sacrifice to you. This is how we think today.
Big time.
This is how we think today.
Nuts. I just said the same thing.
Perform the commandments of God, and while you doing it, you violate. And correcting, I violate. I'm correcting you, but then I wind up violating in that correction. That's us today. He said, as in,
And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices
listen, y'all.
as in
Listen,
obey?
y'all. Does the Lord delight greatly? He said, man, he'd rather for you to obey. That way you ain't got to sacrifice, you ain't got to set up sin offering. You ain't got to say, I'm sorry. You ain't got to come back. I ain't got to come back and plead, gain your favor again. Why? Because you faultless. When you faultless, you ain't got to say you're sorry.
Break it
When you
down.
faultless, you ain't got to, it's nothing to correct. That's why God wants us to be. It said, he said, and if y'all guys stay here in this land and do these commandments and keep these commandments and teach your sons after them, and generations to come to time, he said, you will be a nation of priests. That's what he said. He said it in the law. Y'all will be, he said, you're going to be a nation of priests. You know what that means? Sometime, somewhere now, you will be able to do your own sacrifice and make your own atonement. God said everybody will be a nation of priests. And that means that all nations would have been coming to Israel to learn. But this is not the era for that. This is not the era for me to tell people, you're an Israelite, you're this, I don't know who's who. Okay? There was a time the whole world was black before Israelites came. They was all wicked. They was all wicked. Only one man was worthy. That was Abraham. Only one man was worthy. That was Noah. Only one man, Canaan, Seth, Mahalalel. What's that thing? It's not up there. Genealogy. From Adam, Seth, all the way down. Those men were the only men that were serving God in their generation, like Noah was. Y'all know that, right?
They began to call upon the name of the Lord.
Yeah. Methuselah.
Methuselah.
You see Methuselah? He was the only one serving God in his generation.
On the name of the Lord.
Then he had Lamech. Same thing with Lamech. Then he had Noah. And we know what it said about Noah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So there was a time it was only one man and his family. Then God made a family, a big family, right? And out of that big family, a nation. Now, where the nation at? Scattered. He said, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken fat of rams. He said, rebellion is the same as the sin of witchcraft. So when you go against God's commandments, you might as well be a witch. It's the same thing. He said, and stubbornness, being stubborn, is the same. You might as well bow down to an idol. He said, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And Saul said, I have sinned. He acknowledged it. That's the one thing we don't do. So don't speak bad about these people. Don't speak bad about these people. Where's Saul at now?
He's straight.
He good. We know where he at.
With Samuel.
He's with Samuel. And we know Samuel was good. Stop talking about these people, man. Come on. Man. Shalom Aleichem. I get mad when I hear people call the people in this book fools and idiots. I don't like it. They ain't nowhere near no fools.
Nowhere near.